tired, but not not tired like I just need to take a short cat nap. I'm talking about so tired that you're just falling asleep wherever you are. Like it doesn't matter where or what's happening, who's talking. I This used to happen to me a lot in 12th grade. 12th grade was the sleepiest year I ever had in school. So it, it was just ridiculous. I used to snore like crazy. When I was in 12th grade, I used to have to wake up at around 5:30 in the morning to get on the bus. And this was already a ridiculous time, and being young and a high schooler, I would go to sleep around maybe 11 or 12. So I'd only get about 5 hours sleep, and that was already ridiculous. Now I know some of you already gonna comment. I only get 5 hours sleep. I'm fine. Well, I need at least 6 to be functional. So, um, anyways, once I would wake up at 5:30, get ready to go really slowly and just out of energy, and I'd get on the bus and I would just pass out as soon as I sit down. Like I'd sit down and then I'd just instantly snore. Like the sound was like take a lion growling, roaring actually, and mix it with I don't know something kind of high pitched like a horn. There we go. That actually sounds about right. Horn playing, jazz playing, uh, lion. So yeah, this was the sleepiest year. So, anyways, after I would arrive to school, I would still be sleepy because I would only have slept maybe like 15 to 20 minutes on the bus, even though it felt like an eternity, but it really wasn't. So I'd get to school and I would be exhausted, and I'd be trying to think which class can I probably get away with taking a short nap because I really need one. There used to be this girl in one of my classes. She used to always bring a pillow with her to class, and I used to think that was the weirdest thing. Like, you're coming to class, you're supposed to be coming here to learn, not to be instantly taking a nap. But I can't really judge her much because I was basically using my arm as a pillow, so I mean, not much of a difference there. Anyways, but before I talk about my 12th grade year of sleeping all the time, let's talk about when I was in ninth grade. So, when I was in ninth grade, I used to have this teacher. We're just going to call her Miss V because that's one of the names she said we could call her. She was an English teacher and she was really, really nice, really, really energetic. But for some reason, I just wasn't into it all like that. Like I'm okay at English, and English is okay. You know, I read a couple of books every now and then, but it was just that class was just perfect for sleeping for some reason. Like I would find myself dozing off so often that it was just like I don't know. I don't know how I kept a B in that class somehow, but it it got to the point where she would always be watching me, and I would be falling asleep. And then one time she called me out. She was like, look at him trying so hard not to fall asleep." And I was just like, "Yeah, well, let me just go to sleep," you know. But she wouldn't let me sleep. So she was like, "Okay, if you next time you fall asleep, you got to stand up." And I was like, "Okay." Then I fell asleep. And then she said, "Okay, stand up." And then I stood up and I was still asleep. I was asleep while standing. And it was just that ridiculous. But like I said, I don't know how, but I kept like a B in that class. But um, then 10th and ninth, 10th through 11th grade, I actually had a period of just not sleeping through class. Like, I don't know what it was about. I guess 10th grade was kind of a wake up for me in high school anyway, so it kind of just motivated me to not want to sleep at all in my classes because it was really important that I paid attention, which it's important to pay attention in any of your classes, and especially when you're in college. But it's just, I'm talking about, I don't know, it was just, I felt like it was life or death. But after 11th grade, 12th grade came around, and that's when I had this strike of sleepiness. And to start with, um, oh gosh, well, you see, there were some points that I would like. I mastered this technique of like being asleep but also being awake. So let me hear me out on this. I was like, I would go to sleep, but at the same time, I would still be listening to things. So this happened most frequently in my history class because it was a IB history class. It was just a basically like a magnet class, and the teacher there, she was really nice, but she was explaining something, and I was just like, okay, I've already studied this and I already know about this, so I might as well take a quick nap. And I took a quick nap, and once I woke up, we had to do some group work, and I got pushed into a group, and I literally read the questions and then wrote the questions down and then presented it for a group. And everybody in my group was just like, "Wow, I didn't know you were this good at history." And I was just like, "Well, yeah, I'm good at history, and naps help." So, um, there was also one of the classes I had that I used to hate this class. I normally like science. The class was bio, and I normally like science, but this class was literally the most boring class ever. Like, it was so boring because the teacher would get up there, and all she would do is just go on about, okay, the powerhouse of the cell is the mitochondrial and stuff, and she would just be so boring. Like, it would be ridiculous. So everyone in the entire class has slept in that class at least once. And then one day I remember literally everyone was asleep. Like, she was still up there talking, even though no one was paying attention. And I took a quick nap, and I woke up about 5 minutes later, and I look up and I scan the area, and then I see like every person in the room's head is down, and the teacher's head is down as well because she's sad. But I wish she had just made it a little bit more entertaining. Maybe we would have been sleeping like that. I got to be in that class too, but um, I don't know how. I'm not gonna say there wasn't any struggles, but the struggles weren't because of naps, because naps help. But yeah, so it was towards the end of the year in 12th grade, I had one of my biggest slip ups when it came to this sleeping and napping. So I was in Spanish class. I was in IB Spanish 4. It's just magnet Spanish 4, and I was taking a test, a pre-test. So it really wasn't that important. So I finished it up pretty quick, and I had about 10 minutes until homeroom, which we had homeroom in like the middle of the day for some reason, and once it was homeroom, it was about almost 20 minutes long. 20 minutes long. So I had 10 minutes left in the class I was in, and next period was homeroom. So I had about 30 minutes, and I was like, "This is my opportunity to take the biggest nap I've ever took." So I laid my head down, and then I woke up like 15 minutes into the homeroom with all my classmates around me and just giggling and laughing. I couldn't figure out what the problem was. I was just thinking like, I hope I didn't do something weird. But come to find out, this is where the snoring part comes back into play. Apparently, that entire time I was snoring incredibly loud, and some of my classmates decided to put it on Snapchat, and I was just like, Well, poo. But it was towards the end of the year, so it's like I'm never gonna see you guys again anyway, probably. So it's like, why do I care? And it's only like a day. And then most of them honestly deleted them, except like one person, I think. And I was just like, I don't really care anyway. So yeah, don't fall asleep with your classmates when they have their phones out. Um, yeah. So have you guys ever fell asleep in class? Like, tell me your stories. I'd love to hear them because me and my brother talk about this sleeping thing all the time because it's a funny thing for us. It's crazy. I got a lot more sleeping stories. Maybe I'll make a part two. But yeah, just tell me what you got, and peace, guys.